Hello, I'm the Universal Critic, and I talk about whatever I want, whenever I want, and today I'm going to talk about Snow White and the Huntsman. A movie that's been building up for a while, and at first I didn't see why, but after seeing the movie I can kinda see why people were excited about it. Okay, the story, well, I don't really need to go over the story. You all know the fairy tale, the evil queen wants to kill Snow White because she's prettier than her, but this movie takes it a step further. Apparently, in this version, the evil queen, she actually to stay young and beautiful. She uses her youth and beauty to as a way to manipulate people. It's like the key to her magic or something like that. And to keep herself young and beautiful forever, she has to consume the souls of young, beautiful women. And guess who's the prettiest person in the world? You can see where this is going. Now, as for the storyline, that's pretty basic. What I'm not crazy about in this film is the changes they made to the story. Yeah, the prince character, William, yeah, he does absolutely nothing in this movie. And I don't mean you know how in the Disney version where the prince does nothing except kiss her and bring her back to life? In this movie, he doesn't even do that. Yeah, so, yeah, you literally chopped out the only reason you have that character in the movie. Wow. Why? Just why? Why have him in there at all? On the topic of the characters, let's see the other characters. Charlize Theron is the evil queen. She does a very good job for the most part. There's some ones where she's very subtle and very threatening, and other times she's like, "Get away from me!" She's screaming her head off like this with her eyes bugging out. It's almost kind of comical. Anyway, so yeah, she does good in parts, but other parts are just really silly and crazy. But let's see the other characters. Chris Hemsworth as the Huntsman. Yeah, he does a pretty good job. He's a good actor. I really like him. Though I can't help but feel they were kind of funny because during the movie he was actually holding a sword, but it didn't look like a sword. It looked like a hammer. Yeah, you can see where I'm going. What they're trying to do there. But yeah. And now let's come to the big one. Kristen Stewart as Snow White. Yeah, Kristen Stewart. Everybody's made fun of her. I don't think she deserves the criticism completely. I mean, yeah, she's not that great an actress, but she's not horrible, though I've heard she's not a very nice person in real life. But yeah, but I'm not. Having said that, though, I'm really not a big fan of her, and I would be lying if I said I liked her a lot in this movie, but she's not as bad as she could have been. She does kind of pull off an English accent fairly well. Though she does cut, though for the most part I didn't see Snow White, all I could see was Bella Swan. Yeah, and I've noticed something in this movie on terms of the characters. I noticed something. Snow White was barely in the trailers. It kept all the advertising was focusing on either the evil queen or the huntsman. That's just weird. And another topic, the seven dwarves. Yeah, they're in this movie too. Bet you didn't know that if you saw the trailers, because they play a pretty important role in the story, but they are not in the trailers at all. They're completely chopped out. I guess they want to distance themselves from the whole Disney version, but still, if they're gonna play a major part, put them in the trailers so people know what to expect. It's like when they cut the Indians out of the trailers for Cowboys and Aliens. Anyway, but I digress. Anyway, how's the film as a whole? Well, the special effects are really cool. There's these soldiers that the evil queen uses, and they're when you smash them, they shatter into they're made of black glass or something. That's a really cool effect. And there's also this really cool but kind of pointless scene where they go into this beautiful glen, and there's these little fairy things flying around. That's cool, but it doesn't really have much to do with anything. But so yeah, the effects are decent. Most of the acting was pretty decent. The story was, well, pretty basic. It's very dark, though. Don't expect the bright, sunny Disney version. Yeah, this is nothing like that. This is pretty dark, gruesome action fantasy thing. But now let's come to one of the biggest problems with the movie is the pacing. It's just so slow. It takes forever to do anything. The scene where they're running through the dark forest, that scene goes on for 25 minutes. 25 minutes of them just running away from the Queen's troops in the forest. I admit that's a big part of the story, but come on, get a move on! God, it was just going on forever. So yeah, as you can tell, the pacing was really slow, and it kind of miffed the film a little bit. Like, it didn't do the film justice. But so overall, Snow White and the Huntsman is not a great movie, but it's not terrible either. It's just kind of okay. But I'm kind of one of those people who thinks that's the worst crime of all, just to be okay. So check it out and check it out for yourself and form your own opinion. That's probably the worst thing I could say as a critic, but that's all I can really say. I don't really have that strong opinion about it in either way. It could have been better and it could have been worse. Oh, and another thing, I didn't bring up the other Snow White movie, Mirror Mirror, because I didn't see it. And even if I had, from what I saw, for what I know, this film is nothing like that other one, so I'm not going to bother comparing that. So, on that note, I'm the Universal Critic. I talk about whatever I want, whenever I want. Oh, wait, before I do go, let me rephrase that joke about Mirror Mirror. Since I didn't see Mirror Mirror, I can't compare them, and thus I can't judge who's the fairest of them all. Feel free to write your boos in the comments below. I'm the Universal Critic, and this is my goodbye. See you next time, which should be... let's just say next time you see me... Keep in mind, in space, no one can hear you scream.